I think that icons of evolution open people's eyes up to just how many scientific flaws there are in textbooks regarding evolution. I mean, everybody knows that the textbooks are dogmatic and one-sided and pretty much systematically exclude any scientific dissent from Darwinian evolution. But I don't think people realize just how much of what is in the textbooks is actually inaccurate and erroneous, and that the challenges to Darwinian evolution and these lines of evidence are not just things coming from, some creationist tract or something like that, as they might put it. They're coming from papers published in the mainstream scientific literature. And when you read icons and you go back to the reference notes at the back, everything that Jonathan Wells says is backed up by citations to the mainstream scientific literature. So it's very well documented, and I think it gave people a lot of confidence in making the case that there really were severe problems, aside from just the dogmatism, but just as far as the facts go, problems with the way evolution was being taught. When I was a graduate student in the fall of 2000 at Scripps Institution of Oceanography, I took a graduate seminar that was about the intelligent design evolution debate. And one of the books that we actually read for the course was Icons of Evolution. And Eugenie Scott, who then and as well as now was the executive director for the National Center for Science Education, she was brought in to give us a presentation about the debate, and one of the main things she talked about was this new book that had just came out called Icons of Evolution. And her exact words, or this is essentially what she said, it might be slightly off, but she said, "This book is going to be a royal pain in the fanny." And I think that that is absolutely what Icons of Evolution has turned out to be. It's been a royal pain in the fanny for evolutionists, not because the book did anything pernicious, but because it exposed the fact that the way that evolution was being taught was inaccurate and basically a dumbed-down version of Darwin's ideas. And one of the best impacts of Icons of Evolution is that now anyone, from a layperson to a scientist, has all the documentation they need to show why the way that evolution is often taught is very flawed. Well, in 1999, some friends and I, who were undergraduates at UC San Diego, started a club called the Intelligent Design and Evolution Awareness Club, or IDEA Club for short. And over the course of a few years, we brought in some pretty big-name ID people. One of the people we brought in was Jonathan Wells. And it drew a huge crowd to one of the larger ballrooms at the UC San Diego campus. And it was pretty controversial. I mean, the IDEA Club, we had a lot of pretty intense conversations with folks about Dr. Wells' talk for quite a long time after that. But it was encouraging just to see how interested people were in what he had to say. One of the things that really struck me at that time when I was just an undergraduate student was, and I'm not saying this just to, try to butter up Jonathan Wells, but how he really did care about students. He came there and he wanted to hear about what we were doing, what we were studying, what we faced in the classroom, what our struggles were, and he was very interested and very much a person who cared about what was going on in the way students learned about this issue. And Jonathan Wells, I can say, was one of the strongest supporters of the IDEA Club, and then later on the IDEA Center in its earlier days, really giving us support that what we were doing was important and worthwhile. And